Is a fake alien invasion being planned, and are scientists who disclose information about this, and even regular citizens who are interested in ufology, mysteriously disappearing because of this? One of the very well-known, credible figures, a politician from Canada, former Defense Minister of Canada, Paul Hellyer, who was involved with two very famous UFO incidences in Canada at the time of Prime Ministers Pearson and Pierre Trudeau. He's very famous concerning what he declares. He, for decades, has been warning people or disclosing to people worldwide the fact that extraterrestrials live among us and that various countries in the world are reverse engineering crashed and downed UFOs. He even describes various alien beings being so human-looking that even if we pass them on the sidewalk on the street, we would think they were Homo sapiens. So he's very well known with what he has disclosed concerning UFOs and extraterrestrials. Hellyer was a senior cabinet minister during two of Canada's best-known UFO sightings. One was the Falcon Lake incident in Manitoba, and the other the Shag Harbor incident in Nova Scotia. And they both took place in 1967. That same year, Hellyer opened a UFO landing pad in St. Paul, Alberta, and that was created as a centennial project named to symbolize goodwill between people of Earth and any possible extraterrestrial civilization. Now, I'm also Canadian. I used to live in Montreal, Canada, and the 66-67 World's Fair took place in Montreal. A lot of various foreign people were coming to exhibit there. But when we lived in Montreal, I remember we lived in a cul-de-sac. And in the summers, we used to ride our bicycles around the cul-de-sac over and over again in the afternoons. At the end of our cul-de-sac was a forest with an electricity pylon there, a huge tower. And there was this white UFO-looking thing, like a saucer-shaped thing, right above the tower. It was what, maybe 30, 50 feet above the tower? No noise, motionless, just in the air above the tower. And we were all looking. We were like 4 or 5 girls riding our bicycles around. And we asked ourselves, what is that thing still doing there? It's not making any noise. It's not moving. It's not a helicopter. Helicopter rotors make noise, as we know. It's not a hot air balloon. It's not an airplane. So by process of elimination, we figured it was a UFO, and we just hightailed it out of there. And that was around the time when there were a lot of UFO sightings in Canada. So at the time, there was only 10 million people living in the whole of Canada. So Paul Hellyer used to go around telling people that, yes, there were extraterrestrials, and yes, countries of the world were back engineering UFOs. So what's happening with these people that are disappearing? The missing scientists. Some say it's a conspiracy, but we have the government now trying to, the FBI trying to piece the cases together to identify potential commonalities that could exist. So there are those that write on social media. One of them being Michael Shermer, editor-in-chief of Skeptic, explains how all this began. He's digging to find anyone who went missing or passed or disappeared. connected with UFOs, military, defense, space, aerospace, propulsion, space technologies, and they're giving attention to the matter. The United States Representative Eric Burlison, the first-term congressman from Missouri, according to Kansas City Star, built a reputation through his focus on extraterrestrial aliens and what used to be called UFOs, which are UAPs now. And in March of this year, the unrelated passings and disappearances that connected these people gained wider public attention because of the reports by Daily Mail, New York Post, and others. Fox News, for example, reporting that a reporter that asked White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt about this during a briefing on April 15. She then posted that the White House is actively working with all relevant agencies and the FBI to review all of the cases together and identify any potential common points that these people may have had. And we're talking about scientists and ufologists, and the most recent one being David Wilcock. Now, there are various names and what they used to do, their specific jobs, from anti-gravity to planetary scientists to water and ocean topography spectroscopy, metal specialists, and chemists and engineers, Caltech astronomers, electrical engineers, and even William Neil McCaslin, who was a retired U.S. Air Force major, and professors, physics professors. So one of the latest, which is very well known, the person very well known having to do with alien invasions, is, of course, the person that wants to have the UFO disclosure, ET disclosure, Dr. Stephen Greer, who is basically a doctor. He's an emergency room doctor. And he wants to have an outing. He had various seminars and shows concerning credible witnesses, and even Paul Hellyer, yes, discussing what they knew and giving facts concerning extraterrestrials and UFOs. Now, Stephen Greer, American medical doctor, claims that when he was young, he devoted all his time to little green men, and he came up with some very interesting things. According to Stephen Greer, the big shadow bosses in the U.S. are in full swing preparing a fake alien invasion that will be so advanced that all countries and people will be stunned by it. And this won't be some Project Bluebeam, as optimists are hoping for, but a real device from which robots and genetically modified soldiers will emerge. And the goal of this is to create a shock and awe type of a situation for the creation of a unipolar world government. In other words, it has to do with a political switching, a reset of our systems of our world, and the ability of certain countries to stage all this with capabilities and technologies that we can't even imagine. And he brings in the USTR-3B, a simple first prototype, a Stone Age device that's nearly 70 years old. Stephen Greer says little green men are not bad guys that we imagine. In fact, they're actually good and kind and pacifist. In other words, he calls them benevolent. And the evil forces are actually us humans who acquired the technology in 1947 and started conflicts against the benevolent aliens, during which they have shot down over 1,000 spacecraft, gaining access not only to the little green men technology, in other words, ET technology, but also their extraterrestrial DNA. And he claims that hybrids are already being churned out in full force in labs. Now we know Dr. Stephen Greer, he's a very famous ufologist. He says that as a child he had a close encounter of the third kind, perhaps even little green men, while extraterrestrials understood him, invited him on board their craft, and this childhood experience shaped Stephen Greer's entire life. And like 90% of ufologists and celebrities, the fact that he can talk about this, well, affects us. Now, this is not the first time we've heard about a fake alien invasion. This was brought to us as being warned to Dr. Carol Rosen, a former associate of Dr. Werner von Braun, who came to us from Germany, from Hitler's entourage from Germany, and was one of the renowned aerospace engineers and scientists who started NASA. And he warned her that a fake alien invasion would be staged as a final step in a series of plans to build a new world order and also to weaponize space. Werner von Braun allegedly told Carol Rosen that it would be the last card. They would use a fake alien invasion, he told her, as the last in a series of fabricated threats, preceded by worries about Russians and asteroid strikes and other things. And the purpose of this was, the strategy was to supposedly have a perpetuated military-industrial complex and consolidate global power. And there is a Project Bluebeam connection. This is frequently linked with Project Bluebeam conspiracy theory, which suggests that governments might use advanced technology to simulate a false extraterrestrial invasion. Now, the primary source of all this is, of course, Werner von Braun's associate, Dr. Carol Rosen, who stated this for years, making her case in interviews and at public events. We could see her, what she has talked about on various YouTube videos. Rosen campaigned for the weaponization of space to be stopped, citing the specific prediction from her time working with Dr. Werner von Braun in the 1970s. Dr. Stephen Greer, proponent of UFO transparency, who founded the Disclosure Project back in 1993 to expose classified extraterrestrial information. He claims that the deep state military-industrial complex hides advanced reverse engineering technology. And of course, he keeps warning of a potential false flag alien invasion, and his goal is for peaceful contact through CE5 consciousness protocols. And the key aspects of his movement: he documents deadly secrets surrounding hidden extraterrestrial technology and ongoing efforts to prevent its public release. And he has a battle for the disclosure, of course, features military whistleblowers and testimonies about top secret alien technology. The fake alien threat warning: Stephen Greer argues that elite groups may orchestrate a fake alien invasion to consolidate global power, as we said, and he relates to this to Werner von Braun and Carol Rosen, his associate. Greer teaches techniques focusing on meditation and consciousness to facilitate human-initiated contact with extraterrestrials. And we do have a video on YouTube circulating how he took a group of people to Florida, and one evening sitting there trying to communicate with UFOs with green lasers and claiming that they did come. It's very, very strange. Now, in early 2026 this year, interviews given by Greer show that he discusses his efforts to end secrecy regarding UFOs, what we call UAP, and extraterrestrial technology, providing input on the effectiveness of declassification of these subjects. He's held numerous press conferences featuring military and government officials to share witness testimony regarding UAP sightings. And a lot of very credible officers, military people who also relate UFOs and their connection with nuclear facilities and U.S. military bases. Please leave your comments about this, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.